Welcome, everyone, to Courageous Creative Conquerors. This is Jean Voice Dart. It's my belief that everyone has a gift of creative expression. We were born to express ourselves to stay healthy and happy. Whether you are planting a garden, writing a story, building a cabinet, sewing a scarf, or singing a song, what matters is expressing from the heart. And the creative and expressive arts are a healthy coping strategy that shifts us from trauma to triumph. So join me as we listen and learn key tips and techniques from our special guest and courageous creative conqueror. My special guest today is Ed Bloom, flute player and certified music practitioner. Hi everyone, this is Jean Voice Dart, and this is Courageous Creative Conquerors, and my special guest today is Ed Bloom. He's a flute player and a certified music practitioner, and I'm just delighted to have him here to share his journey. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Great to be here too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing your music and hearing your creative journey and why it was so important for you to live your life with music and the creative arts, your passion for that.
Yeah. So that's a very good question. It's just music has always been there. I started when I was in fourth grade, and just continued on. And I knew early on that I was an improvisational musician. I used to listen to my favorite flute artists, mostly jazz, on records and what have you, and I would do my best to try and either play it exactly or fill in or do a duet or something like that.
Yeah, I love jazz, improvisation, and blues. And why do you think that's so special to you? I have an answer for myself, but what do you like about it?
Well, it's
Improvising.
in the moment. I remember a quote on NPR radio that said, all classical music was once improvised. It was once that, it just came from nothing and eventually was compiled into all these different notes and parts and stuff like that. I like it because, it just, I just go in and check in, and I play what I feel. And if it sounds good, I play more of it.
Yeah, that's why I like it too. There's so much freedom. And also, if you make a mistake, a jazz musician knows to embrace that and embellish on it and go off with it. So there are no mistakes. If you don't do that, you freeze up, everybody, oops, mistake. There's no such thing as mistakes with improvisational music.
No, they're called passing
You
tones.
celebrate it, and you go off on a different journey and different key or something. And it really helps me spiritually, mentally, emotionally to be an improvisational musician. Do you see that?
Oh yeah. One of the things that I've learned early on is that once the note leaves my flute, or if I'm singing my lips or whatever, it's no longer mine. It belongs to everyone. That's the same with experiences, things of that nature, but certainly musically. So, I play something, someone says, oh, that's great, or, oh, that just was terrible. It's not my experience. It's their experience of what I'm playing. And so I learned to just allow whatever response comes and not to be affected by it. I'm putting out something as pure as I can from my heart, and it's accepted. So, when I play a quote unquote wrong note, it's as much for the people in the audience as it is for me.
Yes.
You know, someone in the audience will go, gee, that's a wrong note, or you know, it tends to be a balancing of the environment,
Yes.
of that nature.
That's well said. Thank you. So, would I be correct in saying before you start playing, you just kind of surrender yourself? And
Oh yeah.
is it a spiritual experience? How important is spirituality in your performance?
Well, it's a voice that I speak with, that I say through music what can't be said in words.
Yes.
Yeah, I declare myself. You know, I have a special declaration. I certainly know that it's not necessarily, how do I put this? It's not necessarily me playing. It's like, yes, of course, I'm the instrument through it, which it comes through, but the word channeling comes to mind, but it's not really that either. It's just representing what's happening in the inner worlds and bringing it out.
Yeah. I think many artists, musicians, dancers, creative writers, they know about this creative flow, and they talk about getting into the flow and letting go. And is that what's happening for you? Just becoming that? Yeah.
Most definitely. My
Yeah.
most recent performance was at a spiritual seminar where I was performing for like 19 minutes in front of several thousand people. I had no idea exactly what I was going to play and in what order. I played 5 of my different flutes. I went from one flute to the next, and I just knew when it was to start, and I knew when it was to finish. And even at one point, I looked down at the automatic timer, and it was like blank. And so I just had to rely on what was coming through to know when I was finished.
Yes.
But yeah, I surrendered myself, definitely, and I allow, I go to the heart of the source of creation, and just allow that to come through and touch whomever is open to be touched. And then that response comes back through my heart and goes back, to the creator.
That makes me cry. You touched my heart right there. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a great feeling, isn't it?
It's an amazing
performing
feeling.
In that way. After you're done, you've shifted personally because you've totally surrendered. And it's just such a beautiful experience. Well, let's take a look at some of your photos here of your journey. Tell us about this.
This is just after I married my wife, Ellie, and I still got my boutonniere on. And the first thing we did, we got married at a spiritual seminar, and the first thing we did was to serve. I played flute to Amazing Grace. Actually, we called it the Amazing Hue. And she sang improvisationally. So we kind of wove in and out. But that's the first thing that we did as a married couple, was to serve.
That's amazing. You get married, and the first thing you do is to perform and serve in that way. That's beautiful. Is that a golden flute, Ed?
I wish.
Doesn't it look like it?
It's just the way that I know it does. It's maybe no, it's not. It's just the way the lighting hits.
I've seen those.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Brass or golden flutes. They're really pretty. And who is this?
This is my mom and her granddaughter at my nephew's wedding. She's no longer with us now, but she was a great influence in my life. How important was your mom to you with your music? Well, she made sure that I got the experiences that I would really enhance what I did. She arranged, her and my dad arranged for me to be a member of the Tucson Boys Band, which was an elite group of young people. I originally, and then I got into Up with People, and much of that was her influence.
So how many different types of flutes do you play, Ed?
Oh my gracious. Well, there is certainly the silver flute. There is, silver, there's a Japanese, Chinese, Native American, several Native American, including a double Native American. There is, I said the Chinese already.
Didgeridoo.
Yep, I got a didgeridoo as well. Panpipes. I have a Norwegian flute called a cello flota, which is
penny whistles, maybe?
Penny whistle too.
Yeah. And who are these wonderful people smiling here?
Well, this is I went on a study abroad program, and these are my classmates, and we went to Spain together.
Wow. And you're quite the traveler here. I think there's some more pictures we're going to quickly go through.
Yep, this is in Capri. This is the next year. I invited my wife to be a chaperone in this Education First tour, and she chaperoned this same class. In the next semester, we went to Italy. Oh, and this is one of the people. That's us. At the background is Capri. It's a beautiful place in Italy. I'm playing on a gondola.
Oh my goodness!
That's in
you
Venice.
Are such a traveler, Ed. Look at that! Isn't that beautiful?
Well, there's just us in Rome. We just had a wonderful time together.
How many years have you been married?
17.
17 years.
This is Pisa. I had a very peak experience there where the guide, our city expert, actually allowed me to play inside that baptistry. And the echoes were so intense. I played like a minute and a half of Amazing Grace, and it just echoed everywhere.
Oh, how lovely. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you. So, this is called Courageous Creative Conquerors, and you told me that it took a certain amount of courage to even do this interview. I know we rescheduled it for a couple of months, actually.
Yeah.
And so, with your life journey, how has music helped you overcome fears or obstacles or break through things in life that get in the way of being who you truly are? How has music helped you be a courageous conqueror?
Well, once I start playing, everything is fine. Sometimes getting to the stage is, I go through a lot of obstacles, shall we say.
Yeah.
And it takes everything I have to creatively get there.
Yes.
But once I'm on stage and things, and I begin to play, then, everything is wonderful.
So what's that little turning point that happens where okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to do this interview with Jean today, or I'm going to go on the stage? What is that motivates you to do that? Because there's a lot of people out there that are going through really tough times, and struggling. And there is that feelings sometimes where I don't, people feel, I don't know if I can do this today. I just don't want to, or procrastination or delaying things sets in. And what is it that gets you going, even though you know that once you're there, you're going to be okay?
Well, I seem to have a huge self-sabotage mechanism that goes on. And I'm working with that through spiritual exercises and to try and understand the reason for it. One of the things that I do is to just forgive myself for the behavior that appears to say that I don't really want to do what I've been asked to do, because it's really not true. It's just that now I need to get to the bottom of why that mechanism is there and what exactly it's protecting, because I don't need that protection anymore. That's what I'm consciously saying, because it happens on a internal level. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So getting beyond that, the only thing that I know to do is to do these spiritual exercises and to.
Yeah. I love what you said about forgiving yourself for, sabotaging or delaying or procrastinating, forgiving yourself. That's a huge step. I think that's a great tip for people. Just embracing what is happening, not hiding from it or being ashamed or just denying it, but embracing it and just putting arms around it and loving it. That's what I've found to work in my life.
Yep, just I'm learning how to love myself more so that I can receive more love. Part of loving myself has to do with allowing the now. Whatever's going on, allow it and not to judge it, just to know that it's something I'm moving through to get to the next moment, and
Yes.
move through and put as much love as I can into it, and not to judge it. That's basically it.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that. So you've had this life journey with music, and you've started this new kind of journey with working with people. You said you go to hospitals.
I become a musical healing presence. It's a one-on-one experience where I look and see exactly what needs to happen in a moment. Inside, I make an assessment and I play music accordingly. There's like 5 different types of music, including music that will help someone cross the borders of death. The training is designed to benefit hospitals, hospice, memory care, things of that nature.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
taking
sure that
everything to do with that.
it's really appreciated. I know I've done the same with residential care facilities, hospitals, and even prisons and places
Yeah.
like that. And it's always greatly appreciated and received. And it just lifts my heart, the reaction of people, because the
I've
music,
seen tremendous changes in
yeah.
people.
Mhm.
Someone that's cognitively not there was able to actually do things. I've got documented reports of how that worked.
Well, I'm just delighted that you're doing that. So
Thank you.
let's now, maybe you could show us some of your instruments and see what we can do.
I've got like 12 of them, and so I just started bringing them all to my performances. And that's the thing, when I do prelude music, or when I do healing music, is not a performance. I don't have something in mind to perform, although there's a way of doing familiar music, things like that. But it's not meant to be, a performance. Maybe someone will perceive it as a performance, but that's up for them.
Exactly. I totally understand.
Well, of course, my favorite is my original, which is the silver flute. And
How long have you had? When did you start learning to play the silver flute?
this was I started playing when I was 10 years old.
Oh,
So a
wow.
long time
Okay.
ago.
Yeah.
So it's that's my longest flute. Yeah, that's my silver flute. Let's
Okay.
see here. This
Oh,
was
that's,
the Mayan double flute,
oh,
and
beautiful.
as you see, it's got two flutes, and the left side is in the key of F, and the right side is in the key of C, so they can be played together separately. And when they
How
come together,
exciting.
you get an overtone that's just amazing. So you'll get the one note, the two notes, and then zzz, the third note, it combines with the other two. I've been practicing overtones and echoes forever, ever since I heard Paul Horn play inside,
Oh,
whatever, inside the
love it.
whatever.
Of Paul and the Taj Mahal. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul in the, in whatever tempo you happen to be at.
Everywhere where there's an echo.
I
Yeah.
actually, I've been able to dream mentors and things like that. And actually, I ended up meeting Paul Horn in a workshop,
Oh,
and that
wow.
was pretty amazing. Same with Carlos Nakai as well. I
Wow.
happened to be in Arizona, and he was celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Code Talkers, the Navajo Code Talkers, and he gave a half-hour performance. I rushed in and got right up almost on stage, so I was like at his feet watching him play, and
Oh,
it's the best way to learn.
that's great. And what's another favorite that you have there?
This one I've played lots, but this is just a bamboo tube.
Okay.
It's called a shakuhachi. Most shakuhachis are straight line flutes, but the holes are played in such a way that it fits my fingers pretty nicely. So that's just a bamboo flute.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful tone to it, that's for sure. This is a Anasazi flute. This is
Look
an
at
ancient
it.
flute.
The
Yeah, and this
etching.
again is very similar. I mean, someone, if you believe in reincarnation, somebody probably incarnated from the ancient Anasazis and said, let's do this in Japan.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the end blown flute, and that's all there is to make the tone is just this little divot and an open hole. This is made by Coyote Old Man, and he makes this beautiful finish on his flutes.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one. It's very soft spoken. Probably wouldn't hear it here. This is a Chinese flute, and this is see the little bamboo membrane over there. So it's like the original kazoo.
Oh.
So what happens is you play the note, and it has a buzzing sound over the note
From the paper.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you hear the note, and then the buzzing sound comes through. It's called a DIZI, D-I-Z-I, and I still don't know if that's the right way to say it, or DZ or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a Chinese flute. Oh, let's see here. And then, of course, my friends from South America, my panpipes.
Did you travel there?
No, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
My first panpipe I got, actually the one that you saw in the photo, I got from San Francisco. I was just walking along. There was I guess a Peruvian band or something like that. They used to play on the sidewalks there, and they sold all of these bamboo flutes, But this every note is every tube is a note. And if you can think of the pipe organs, I have to think that the Europeans would come to South America, and the South Americans, well, we can do that. And we got all these bamboo pipes, and so they did this. This is one form of it. The other one is a round was called a rondador. This is called a samponia.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to play an audio clip of Ed performing here. This is Ed Bloom. Yay! Thank you so much, Ed. That was just absolutely fabulous. I loved it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you, Ed. This has just been so much fun to hear your creative arts journey. And I think that you gave some really good tips for folks that are stuck out there and maybe don't have the confidence, and maybe they're procrastinating, they're not moving forward with their music. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing that with us.
Sure. Yeah, my biggest tip is just to do it. Don't worry about how good you are or how not good you are. It's not about that. It's about making the sound that expresses the love in your heart.
Beautiful. Yes. And you said to forgive yourself, love yourself, just be that channel, let it flow. Many, many good tips from today. So thank you, Ed. And thank you, all of you listening and supporting the creative arts. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
To see more Courageous Creative Conquerors videos, join the weekly Creative Community calls, or learn more about private sessions, visit jeanvoicedart.com.